Mike, of course, a quick turnaround for you is going into a lengthy away trip tomorrow off the back of the weekend. But first of all, just touching on that result, how has the atmosphere and the sort of reaction been from the boys initially in training this morning?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, we've got to respond as the nature of football. It's a quick turnaround. But yeah, we've had a meeting. We've analysed the game. We know where we've got to improve and be better, and that's what we focused on today. But largely, it's just about making sure we get the rubbish out of our legs. And say we've got a big task. It's another big challenge. Essentially, another league club we're going to, and the travel adds to it. But that's what we look forward to, and we'll embrace the challenge.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously having a meeting this morning, but obviously it's something you usually do anyway, but when you've got that kind of quick turnaround from a Saturday to a Tuesday, is it a little more difficult to strike the bit of the balance between the sort of analysis classroom side of things and the actual on-pitch training stuff when you're kind of splitting the focus between reflecting on Saturday and looking to Tuesday?
Well, yeah, essentially it just minimises everything becomes, so we, 10-15 minutes focus on the negatives from the weekend, but then obviously we flip it to how that's going to strengthen us. And then, all focus on how we're going to prepare properly and go about getting 3 points at Dagenham. But like I say, the lads' response is always top notch, and they want to get back on the football pitch ASAP. And like I say, that's why we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you mentioned on Dagenham specifically, of course, you say effectively a league club. I suppose majority of the league's pretty much that way now, but on them specifically, the exact same start to yourselves points-wise. They're coming off the back of a home defeat on Saturday as well, which no doubt will have been a frustrating one for them. So how are you kind of looking ahead to tomorrow specifically?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. They're going to want to get the first win on the board, as do we. And we've watched them, and we know that they've got good players, and that they're going to have a game plan for us off the back of the travel going down there on the day, which adds to it, which is what we embrace. Like I say, the bigger the mountain, the more enjoyable it is to climb. So we're focused. We know what we've got to do. We prepare. We look at them. We look at ourselves, and then again we focus on what we do.
And for you internally as well, in a sense of, obviously results haven't gone the way you've hoped the first couple of games initially, although performances have been arguably more positive than negative in the way that you're trying to approach things and the way that you're wanting to play. Is it probably still a bit too early, I suppose, to have to deal with any kind of, not pushback, but obviously can get a bit frustrating, I imagine, sometimes for lads when things aren't going their way results-wise, but I think Tinks mentioned after the game that you're kind of doing everything that you want to be doing, and the results are just sort of the main thing that haven't quite come yet.
Yeah, we talk about the process performances. You look at the weekend, 70% possession, I think 15 attempts. We got into some really good areas, and I think another day our quality is slightly better. We score more goals. Our XG was higher, and all we can do is focus on stacking the odds in our favour to get the result. And when it doesn't come, we learn. But internally, we've got to make sure that frustration adds to us and it doesn't take away. But we've got an honest group there who are all bought in, all want to improve. I think we've been punished for some individual mistakes, and we've got to make sure that we can eradicate as much as we can, but it's from the front to the back, it's all of us. So like I say, results haven't come, but performances over the two games have been good, but we've got to make sure that it does correlate.
And you mentioned a few sort of stats there as well. I mean, as a coaching team, how much do you sort of look at those kind of stats when evaluating the picture of the game in sort of analysis the day or two after? I know obviously Chris Bell, of course, has been building a bit of an analysis department as such as well, that's been giving you a bit more of a detailed look at that kind of thing that you've not had in the past.
Yeah, well, stats are there for you, but you can read into things that aren't there. Obviously the biggest correlation is the scoreboard, like we spoke about after the game. That's the main one, but we look at the other stats to back up more often than not. You know, if you win certain areas, then you will take the points, and like I say, we have been dominating the areas of that we want to focus on, but the outcome hasn't correlated yet. So it's up to us to look through it, get what's necessary out of it, show the boys, just for confirmation of what we're doing well, and everyone knows that we keep turning up and recreating those stats, we're going to win games.
And then just finally, really, how is everyone kind of looking injury-wise, fitness-wise, ahead of tomorrow? I mean, in terms of fitness-wise as such, obviously, I think Billy Chadwick's coming off the back of a little bit of an injury over the summer, so he's obviously been coming off the bench a couple of times, and Aidan, of course, coming from part-time to full-time, so I suppose on those two particularly, still trying to build things fitness-wise with them, or are they there or thereabouts?
Yeah, like I say, we're looking to integrate them. Say, you know, Luke played a good proportion of the game, which was a real benefit. Obviously, Connor's come in and started the last two. But yeah, Billy's, you know, he's still getting up to speed. You know, you can see a glimpse of his quality, and I think the more minutes on the pitch he gets, and the more you'll see that, because he's got it in abundance. So. Aidan, yeah, he's obviously he's eating it up, he's soaking it in, he's a great lad, and he will get his opportunities, and we've got to make sure that we do it in the right way so we don't pick up any more niggles unnecessarily, but hopefully Greggy and Wheeler will be close, so look forward to them coming back.
Yeah, and you mentioned Greg and Wheeler there, so what's been the kind of specific issues they've been dealing with over the past week or so?
Just little niggles, Greggy calf and Wheeler quad. Like I say, it's very small teething. I wouldn't even call it a grade 1 really, but they've just had a bit of a reaction to it, and like I say, they're two huge players, very influential for us. And we just got to make sure we're doing the right way and be conservative, because we don't want an extended period. So they're working hard. They've been with Belly, and they'll be close.